Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming to you with a video on the big Sephora sale that is happening right now. Yeah, it started back today. So I think it's only for VIB Rouge status. I can't remember if you have to be VIB or VIB Rouge, but I'll put all that information down below. But it's going on from the 10th through the 15th, and I'll put the code to get 20% off of your order down below. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you a couple of my picks for the sale. I did place 2 orders back when they ran the first part of the sale. It's like early access for Rouge members. So I have not received my orders yet, but I will mention a couple things that I got. I got the Fenty Beauty Universal Lip Gloss. I've heard that that's really gorgeous. I also got the Fenty Beauty like contour stick, I think in the shade Mocha. I got a refill of my Caudalie serum, which I'll link below. It's an amazing serum. I got refills of my Origins Ginseng Moisturizer, and refills of a couple other things that I'm going to mention in the video today. So stay tuned if you want to see my picks for the Sephora sale. Okay, so starting off with hair products, I feel like this is such a great time to invest in hair products or refill any hair products that you're currently using, because I don't know, if you're like me, I use kind of the same products. I've been using the same products for several years now just because I love them so much. But if you have seen my previous videos where I've shown how I curl and style my hair, I've been using the Bumble and Bumble Surf Spray and the Bumble and Bumble Surf Infusion for a while now, just because I do have really like smooth hair. I don't know if that's the right term, but it's like sort of slick feeling, I guess. And so for me to get my hair to hold curls, I have to add some texture, and these 2 products work wonders together. And they are like $30-ish, so I get so excited when I can get 20% off of those because I have to refill them anyway when they run out. And then another product I wanted to mention is the Detox dry shampoo from Drybar. I love this dry shampoo. It's one of the few that I've tried that I feel like really does soak up excess oil, and it does a great job of that. It makes my hair look so fresh, and I love the way Drybar products smell. The only issue that I have with this is that it does leave like a little bit of a white cast to your hair. No matter how much I like blend it in, shake it out, whatever, there's like a little bit of like a tint to my hair afterwards, and when I have really dark hair like I do right now, it just doesn't really work. So if you guys have any suggestions for dry shampoo that works when you have really dark hair, I would definitely appreciate this. But if you have lighter hair, I think this would work fine for you, and like I said, it does really soak up any extra oil. And then last thing I wanted to mention for hair is this Bumble and Bumble Repair Blow Dry. I use this right when I get out of the shower. I apply it to my hair and just sort of like let it soak in, and then it's kind of like in my hair and sort of preps it for blow drying. So I feel like it just makes my hair smoother. It's protecting my hair from the heat, which is something that I think is so important. I feel like for years of my life I never used a heat protectant, and then once I started using one like 3 or 4 years ago, it definitely changed the way my hair feels and has made it so much healthier. And I just love this one. I also feel like it makes your hair dry quicker. I don't know, that's just what I've sort of experienced, but I love this one. I'm not like the biggest fan of how it smells. I mean, I like the way it smells, but there are other ones I've tried that smell better. But this one, I think, does the job it's supposed to do the best. So, yeah, those are my picks for hair. Okay, so next category, which is the big one, are my favorite makeup products that I would suggest purchasing during the sale. These are all products that I've used for quite a while now, and I just think that they're worth every penny. So yeah, jumping into it, the first thing is the NARS Tinted Moisturizer. This is actually a new bottle of it because I got a refill of it pretty recently. It just looks like this. I love a tinted moisturizer. I've talked about this in my previous video, but I just feel like with tinted moisturizers, I can sort of like build up coverage with like concealer, but I have a more natural looking base when I use that tinted moisturizer. I also have very dry skin, So for me, during the winter months, I much prefer using a moisturizer, a tinted moisturizer versus a foundation, because my skin is so dry that most foundations, and I've tried so many, all the dewy ones, and I just feel like the moisturizer is the only one that doesn't really break up on me by the end of the day during the winter months. So I love that one. I would say if you are looking for something full coverage, you're not going to like that. It's very light coverage. The main reason I use it is because it evens out my skin tone and gives me like a very even base. And then I just use concealer to like add more coverage where I need it. So that is one product that I absolutely love, and I'm in the shade Alaska. Okay, so another sort of like brand I wanted to mention, and the main reason I wanted to mention this is because I saw that they are selling a gorgeous palette for their holiday collection right now that comes with this bronzer that I want to talk about, a couple blushes, and a couple of their like just luminous highlighting powders. So the Hourglass Radiant Bronze Light is my absolute favorite bronzer. It's such a gorgeous, like, glowy bronzer. And when I say glowy, it doesn't have like glitter or anything like that. It just makes your skin look so like alive, and I just love it. I love highlighters that have a little bit more like radiance to them. And then the Hourglass like luminous powders are amazing. I've used I'll link it down below, but I have one in my purse, and I've had it in my purse for years. I absolutely love it. It's just really natural. You can use it to either like set your foundation, or set your concealer or something, or you can just use it for a really natural highlight. So it's super pretty. And then this one is the Incandescent Strobe Lighting Powders. The strobe lighting powders are a little bit more like intense, I guess, but I still find them to be really natural. And I just love this, and I think that one of the strobe powders is in that palette, which I will link down below. And then I love their blushes as well. They're also like just a really radiant, beautiful blush. They have the blush color, and then they're also sort of like mixed in with the luminous powders that I was talking about before. So it just gives you a really healthy glow. This one is Diffused Heat, and it's my favorite for fall. It's like a really pretty poppy color. But yeah, I will link the palette below because I think it's such a great deal. Because like if I remember right, like the bronzer is like $50 something. The blush and the powders are also like $40 to $50 each. And then that palette that has like everything all in one is like $80. So it's definitely a great value, and I feel like that would be an awesome investment for the sale. A product that I kind of added to my collection a little bit more recently is the Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminizing Wand. This is just a cream highlighting stick, and if you have like an olive complexion and you're like my shade, maybe even like a hair darker and then definitely lighter than me, this would work so beautifully for you. I love cream highlights right now. I just love the look of them because I feel like they make you look more like glowy, and they're more of like that wet highlight look versus like a powdery highlight. So I'm loving this one. Like I said, this one is a little bit more recent, but I fell in love right away. Another sort of like collective brand that I wanted to mention, because they also came out with a big palette, is Becca Cosmetics. I love their highlighters and I love their blushes, and I saw that they're coming out with a palette that has a couple different highlighters, and I think they also have a blush included, and it's one of their luminous blushes. I absolutely love this Snapdragon blush from Becca. It's a more like luminous blush, like I was saying. It gives you more of like a highlighted effect, but it just makes you look so healthy. And this one is sort of like a corally pink shade, perfect for summer. And then my other favorite highlights from Becca are Opal, of course. I feel like everyone loves this one. And then Champagne Pop, which is such a gorgeous champagne color. And I believe that the palette comes with Opal, and then it comes with one that's like almost identical to Champagne Pop. I think it's like a limited edition shade just for that palette, but it looks super similar to this. So I will link that palette down below. I think it's a great value as well, because each of these was like $30 to $40, and I think that palette is like $50 something. So it's a great deal as well. I am a huge mascara lover, so if you saw in my previous video where I did my makeup, I think this is the one I used, but the Dior Pump and Volume Mascara is my absolute favorite mascara from this year. It's definitely a huge standout for 2017 for me. I just love like the applicator. I love that it makes my lashes so voluminous. I did mention in my previous video that if you don't like mascaras that get kind of clumpy, then you won't like this one. And I feel like normally people don't like mascaras that get clumpy, but this one clumps in a good way. I feel like it just makes your lashes look super thick. And I don't know, I just really like the way it applies. They're like long, spidery lashes. I don't know if you like that kind of look, which is, I like really dramatic lashes. So this one I absolutely love. Another mascara that I really enjoyed this year was the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. This probably is like second place for me. It is really similar to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but it actually I think is a lot better because I think that one does clump and this one doesn't. It just builds up really beautifully. And this one kind of gets better with age. I feel like when you first get it, it's like a really wet mascara, and now that it's like dried out a little bit more, which sounds weird, I actually kind of like it better. I feel like it builds up a little bit nicer. Okay, so I also feel like the sale is a great time to pick up any eyeshadow palettes that you've kind of like had your eye on through the year, just because they can be kind of expensive as well. So two from this year that I wanted to mention that were standout for me, of course, is the Tartelette and Bloom palette. I mentioned in my makeup video that I used this palette on my wedding day. I just love absolutely every single shadow in this palette. I feel like for me, it's like rare that I get a palette where I'm going to use every single color, but this one I love all of them. I used basically this whole bottom row for my wedding day. This Funny Girl shade is like the prettiest like champagne-y gold shade I've ever used on my eyes. It's just so pretty. So absolutely love this one. And then another one that I really liked, probably not as much as the Tarte one, but I did love this one too, is the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. This is another one where I really liked the shades a lot. This is definitely like my kind of, you know, my kind of makeup. I love like cranberry tones. I love like warmer browns. I love this gold shade, Primavera. It's super pretty. And this Vermeer shimmer shade is so nice on the lid as well. I do love every single color in here. The only reason I don't really like this one as much is because it's like so messy. And I feel like I've seen other people talk about this before too on YouTube, but they have said that, you know, Anastasia's powders or shadows are really powdery. I think that's definitely true, but I've just sort of learned after using this one that I just need to be really light-handed. So once I learned that lesson, I fell back in love with this palette, and the colors are just gorgeous. So yeah, those are two palettes I loved for this year. Okay, so some lipsticks. Ooh. Okay, so remember when I said that that palette was like super powdery? Look what I did to my sweater. I am so upset right now. So yeah, take that one out of my favorites. I'm so mad. Oh my god. Hey, now I'm back in a new sweater. I have my other sweater in the washer, hoping that that gets out the brown eyeshadow that was all over the bottom of my sweater. So anyway, let's jump into the next category. So jumping into lip shades, I absolutely love this Tom Ford lipstick in the shade Blush Nude. I don't know how I got suckered into purchasing this lipstick because it's so expensive. It's like $50, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I pretty much wore this all summer long. When it comes to nude lipsticks for me, I feel like for my skin tone, I really like a lipstick that has a little bit of like a brownie, like rosy undertone, and I just think that this is like that perfect nude lipstick for my skin tone. So yeah, if you've been thinking about getting a Tom Ford lipstick, especially this Blush Nude shade, this would be a great time to do it, and I do recommend it. Although I probably won't be purchasing any more of the Tom Ford lipsticks after that one. I feel like that's all I needed. I also love Kat Von D Lolita. It's like a really dark brown, like brownish mauve-y color. I'm sure you've seen it in other videos before because this has been a popular one for a while. It's actually really similar to the lipstick that I am wearing today. Obviously I love colors like this, especially for fall, so this is a great one to pick up during the sale. Another one that I really like is the Bare Minerals lipstick in the shade This is actually one of their liquid lipsticks, and I will say that these don't really last that long on your lips, but they are so nice. They're so comfortable to wear, and I just love the color selection so much that I feel like it's not that big of a deal that I have to reapply it a couple times throughout the day. So this shade is so gorgeous. It's also like a brownie nude. It's like a couple shades lighter than what I'm wearing now. But this is probably one of my favorite lipsticks of all time. So definitely recommend checking this one out too. Okay, and then last product that I wanted to mention for the Sephora sale is the Saint Tropez Everyday Tinted Body Lotion. And it is a gradual tanner. I love the way this applies. I love that it is tinted, so you can actually see like where you're rubbing it in, since it is a lotion formula. For me, when it comes to self tanners, I need one that's like pretty low maintenance. I need one that is not going to like upset my super dry skin, because I do have eczema on the top parts of my arms, so I need one that's not going to bother my eczema. And this one, I feel like honestly makes my eczema better. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't, but it definitely makes my skin smoother, even the parts that are affected by eczema. It definitely evens out my skin tone. It's just such a gorgeous bronzy color. It's not super intense. You definitely have to build it up. Like, I'll apply it one day, and then usually like the day I shower, I'll apply it once, and then the next day I'll apply it again, and that sort of builds it up to the color that I want it to be. So the other thing I really like about this is it's really easy to exfoliate off. I really hate tanners that like you have to sit there and like scrub your skin so hard to get it off, because since I do have dry skin, that like really irritates me. So yeah, that's why I absolutely love this one. I think it's like $30 something. It's not too crazy, but I pretty much have had this in my collection. I've been repurchasing it for the last year. I actually wore this for my wedding, just because I loved the way it looked. I liked it better than when you like go actually get spray tanned. So yeah, I absolutely love this one. Okay, so those are all of my picks for the Sephora VIB sale. I will make sure to leave all of the sale details down below, as far as like when the dates. I know it does start today, and I think it goes until the 15th. And then also the code to get 20% off your order. I'll link everything I talked about in this video down below as well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.